Hey Raiders fans, the latest developments surrounding our Las Vegas Raiders are heating up. And there's a lot to unpack in terms of the next head coach search. Right now, the franchise is at a critical crossroads. And speculation is running wild because there are only a couple of standout candidates on the radar. On one hand, you have Webb, whose reputation as an innovative offensive mind has been building quietly but steadily. And on the other, Kubiak, who has been making waves for his work on the defensive side and has generated a lot of buzz among fans who are eager to see him in the silver and black. The tension comes from the uncertainty surrounding which direction the Raiders will commit to, and with outside factors coming into play, it feels like the decision could come down to timing as much as talent. The situation has been complicated further by news from the Broncos. Webb has been in their building, and this immediately raises questions about whether he might be tempted to take on a role there instead of stepping into a head coaching position in Las Vegas. The Broncos recently made a significant move by parting ways with their offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, which opens the door for Webb to step into a prominent role. Considering his prior relationship with the Broncos coaching staff, it wouldn't be surprising if they tried to entice him into accepting a top offensive position before he even gets a chance to fully explore the Raiders' offer. All of this creates a tense scenario where decisions cannot happen in isolation, and the Raiders have to move carefully if they want to secure their preferred candidate. For the Raiders, the challenge lies not just in identifying the best candidate, but also in navigating league rules and other team movements. The NFL has strict regulations around interviewing and hiring, meaning that even if the Raiders see Webb as their ideal head coach, they can't simply hand him the role without considering other opportunities and contractual obligations at the same time. Waiting too long could allow rival teams to swoop in, as seems possible with the Broncos. Fans are understandably anxious because the timing of interviews, verbal agreements, and final contracts will determine whether Webb can make the leap to Las Vegas, or if the team has to pivot quickly to someone else. It's a delicate balancing act that requires precision and foresight. Meanwhile, Kubiak remains a strong alternative, while his path is slightly more predictable in terms of waiting for his Super Bowl commitments to conclude. There is still a risk in holding out. Any delay could mean missing out on the chance to secure him if circumstances change unexpectedly. The Raiders could technically negotiate a verbal agreement, but history has shown that verbal understandings in the NFL can sometimes fall through at the last minute, leaving teams scrambling. Fans remember moments where top candidates backed out or stayed with their current teams despite agreements to move, so patience has its dangers as well. In this context, the Raiders front office faces a high-stakes decision, balancing the potential upside of Webb's youthful energy and innovative approach against the more established track record and stability of Kubiak. The broader coaching landscape also adds complexity. Other top coaching candidates have already been claimed by rival teams, which narrows the options and increases the pressure on the Raiders to act decisively. With Joe Brady heading to the Bills and Brian Daboll signing with the Titans, it leaves only a handful of teams actively searching for head coaches, including Cleveland, Arizona, and Las Vegas. This scarcity makes the Raiders' position unique. They have a highly desirable job to offer, but the timing of the offers, interviews, and negotiations will be crucial in determining whether they land Webb, Kubiak, or have to look further down the list. The need for quick, strategic action is more pressing than ever. At the same time, the qualities that make Webb an intriguing candidate cannot be overlooked. Despite limited experience in play calling, Webb has shown flashes of brilliance and potential to grow into a high-level head coach. His prior appearances, such as in preseason games, demonstrate that he understands the nuances of quarterback development, game management, and offensive scheming. Pairing his strategic thinking with the Raiders' talent could lead to a dynamic offensive system, especially with emerging players ready to make an impact. His rapport with players and ability to command a locker room also make him an attractive candidate for a franchise looking to blend innovation with team cohesion. The long-term vision for Las Vegas could be significantly shaped by whoever takes on the head coaching role, and Webb's potential makes him a candidate worth serious consideration. On the other hand, Kubiak brings a different set of strengths to the table, known for his disciplined defensive strategies and ability to adapt under pressure. He represents a more traditional approach that could stabilize the team while providing consistent leadership. Many fans are excited about the possibility of seeing Kubiak in Las Vegas, imagining how his schemes could enhance the team's performance immediately. However, the timing is critical, as his Super Bowl involvement means the Raiders cannot finalize anything instantly, even with verbal agreements. There is always uncertainty until contracts are officially signed, and history reminds us that even highly touted candidates can change course unexpectedly. As the Raiders weigh their options, it is clear that both Webb and Kubiak have the potential to leave a lasting mark on the franchise. Webb offers innovation and a fresh perspective, a chance to inject creativity into the team's offensive strategies, while Kubiak provides reliability and a proven record of leadership. The coming days and weeks will be decisive, as the front office must navigate league rules, rival interests, and the timing of negotiations to secure the coach who can best guide the Raiders forward. Every interview, every discussion, and every decision in this period will shape the future of the franchise and potentially define its competitive trajectory for years to come. At the moment, the Raiders have not publicly committed to a head coach, leaving fans in suspense as speculation intensifies. The team is clearly weighing options, balancing potential hires against strategic considerations, and carefully considering both immediate and long-term implications. Whether they move quickly to secure Webb or wait for Kubiak to become available, the choice will reflect both the vision of the front office and the direction they want the team to take. The stakes are high, and every decision made now will resonate through the upcoming season and beyond, shaping not just wins and losses, but also the identity of the Las Vegas Raiders as a franchise poised between tradition and innovation. As we continue to analyze the Raiders' head coaching situation, it is impossible to ignore the ripple effects that Webb's presence in the Broncos building has caused. His potential movement to Denver as an offensive coordinator could dramatically shift the landscape. For Las Vegas, the Raiders had been counting on Webb as a viable option, and now they face the possibility of him being pulled in another direction entirely. This scenario underscores just how interconnected team decisions are in the NFL. Nothing exists in isolation, and the moves of one team can directly influence the strategy and timing of another. For the Raiders, it has become a game of patience and timing, balancing their desire to secure a young, dynamic coach with the reality that rival teams are also maneuvering for advantage. The intricacies of hiring in the NFL mean that the Raiders cannot simply hand the job to Webb or Kubiak without following procedural steps. Interviews must be conducted, league rules must be observed, and formal agreements have to be carefully structured to ensure compliance. Meanwhile, the stakes remain high because the team cannot afford to wait too long and risk losing top candidates. Every day that passes without a decision increases the likelihood that Webb could accept an offer from Denver or that Kubiak might finalize plans elsewhere once the Super Bowl concludes. The tension is palpable, and fans are watching every development closely, hoping the front office can act decisively to secure the right leader for the team. Meanwhile, the conversation around Clint Kubiak has intensified as his profile continues to rise among fans and analysts alike. His work in defensive strategy has earned him recognition, and many view him as a candidate capable of providing stability, while also introducing innovative approaches that could elevate the Raiders' performance. Kubiak represents a calculated risk, with a clear track record, and his timing aligns with the conclusion of the Super Bowl, meaning the Raiders will need to make careful logistical plans to ensure they can bring him on board quickly. Despite this, the uncertainty remains, and the potential for delays or last-minute changes adds another layer of complexity to the decision-making process. The Raiders' challenge is not just about identifying talent, but about acting swiftly and strategically in a league where circumstances can change overnight. Adding to the complexity are the departures of other high-profile coaching candidates. Joe Brady's move to Buffalo and Brian Daboll's signing with Tennessee effectively removed them from the pool, narrowing the options and increasing pressure on Las Vegas to secure their preferred choice. With only a few head coaching vacancies remaining across the league, the Raiders' position is both advantageous and precarious. They are one of the most desirable openings, yet the timing of negotiations and interviews becomes critical when the top-tier candidates are in high demand. It's a delicate balance between patience and action, as rushing could lead to missteps, but waiting too long might mean missing out entirely. In assessing Davis Webb's potential as a head coach, several factors stand out. His youth and relative inexperience could be viewed as risks, but they also provide opportunities for growth and innovation. Webb has demonstrated a keen understanding of offensive schemes, quarterback development, and game management, even in limited play-calling situations. The snippets seen in preseason games reveal a coach capable of thinking on his feet, making adjustments, and applying creative strategies that could redefine the Raiders' offensive approach. Moreover, his ability to relate to players and build rapport in the locker room could translate into strong team cohesion, giving him the potential to lead effectively both on and off the field. The alternative, Clint Kubiak, presents a contrasting approach with a focus on defense and structure. His experience and track record offer a sense of reliability, providing the Raiders with a coach who can step in and implement proven strategies while maintaining discipline and consistency. Fans excited about Kubiak envision a team that can compete at a high level immediately, benefiting from his leadership and tactical expertise. However, his availability is contingent on his current commitments, and the Raiders will need to act with precision to ensure they do not miss the opportunity to secure him once the Super Bowl concludes. Verbal agreements and interviews can only go so far until contracts are signed and finalized. Uncertainty persists. The dynamic between Webb and Kubiak also highlights a broader philosophical choice. For the Raiders, choosing Webb signals a willingness to embrace innovation, development, and a forward-looking strategy that could pay dividends over the long term. Selecting Kubiak, on the other hand, emphasizes stability, experience, and the ability to maintain competitive performance immediately. Both paths carry inherent risks and potential rewards, making the decision one of the most critical the franchise has faced in recent years. Every discussion, interview, and strategic move in this period contributes to shaping the future identity of the team and its performance on the field. Beyond Webb and Kubiak, the Raiders also have other potential options to consider. Though they are fewer and less prominent, coordinators and former head coaches like Mike LaFleur, Chris Shula, Nate Scheelhaas, and even Sean McDermott represent alternative directions that could work under specific circumstances, while not the first choices for the majority of fans. These candidates still offer valuable skills and experience that could provide solutions if Webb or Kubiak are unavailable. The existence of these alternatives gives the Raiders a safety net, though it is clear that their preference remains with one of the top two candidates, underscoring the importance of swift and strategic action as the coaching search unfolds. The Raiders must also manage the expectations of their fan base, who are closely monitoring every update and development. Fans are invested not only in the decision itself, but also in the narrative of how the team chooses its leader. Webb's potential rise, despite being relatively unknown, excites those who want innovation and energy, while Kubiak appeals to supporters who value experience and tactical reliability. The front office's handling of this process will be scrutinized, and the ability to communicate progress and rationale behind decisions could influence fan confidence and engagement as the season approaches. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy, drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be the most sensational offseason shakeup in recent memory, whispers around the league suggest Khalil Mack is on the verge of returning to the Las Vegas Raiders. Sources close to team management indicate that the defensive powerhouse, who once terrorized quarterbacks and anchored the Raiders' defense, might be rejoining the silver and black to reclaim a leadership role that many believe he never truly relinquished. Fans and analysts alike have been speculating for weeks about Mack's next move, after a stint with another franchise that saw flashes of his former dominance, but also hints of frustration. The chatter now points to a reunion with the Raiders. The potential return of Mack isn't just about stats or sack totals. Insiders suggest the organization views him as a figure who can galvanize a defense in need of a spine, someone capable of mentoring emerging talent while still delivering game-changing plays on the field. Raiders executives are reportedly weighing the long-term implications of bringing Mack back into the fold. While salary cap considerations are always a concern, the lure of having a player with Mack's experience and ferocity on the roster seems to outweigh financial constraints. Meanwhile, fans on social media have erupted at the mere suggestion, flooding platforms with reactions ranging from ecstatic anticipation to cautious optimism. The consensus: Mack's return could signal a shift in the team's defensive identity, turning a squad that has struggled for consistency into one with renewed aggression and swagger. League insiders note that Mack's leadership extends beyond the X's and O's. His presence in the locker room is said to elevate younger players, instilling a competitive edge and work ethic that often proves contagious. Coaches, teammates, and commentators alike have pointed to his rare ability to impact a game, even without recording a stat, influencing offensive schemes simply by the threat of his pressure and his football IQ. While nothing is officially confirmed, sources indicate that discussions are active and ongoing. Should Mack finalize a return to Las Vegas, it could redefine expectations for the team's defense, positioning the Raiders as a formidable force and reigniting a fan base eager for a marquee star to lead the charge as the rumor mill spins. One thing is clear: if Khalil Mack does make his way back to the Raiders, the defensive narrative of the upcoming season may be written before the first snap. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.